Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down! Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life. I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. During those times, I accumulated some good stories. I'm going to share one with y'all today. If you like this story, definitely be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe. Most importantly, hit that notification bell. That way, anytime I drop a story, you will be notified ASAP, and you can hop on it whenever you're ready. Also, be sure to check out a YouTube page by the name of Street Professors, Ghetto Scholars. It's like a hip hop encyclopedia type page. It has a lot of information, current rap news. It talks about old rap news, hip hop beefs, a lot of information, man. So you guys definitely be sure to check that page out. You also can go there and buy you some beats. The dude has produced for Dave East, Uncle Murder, a lot of people. Go there and get you an original beat. That's what it's called. Street Professors, Ghetto Scholars. Now, with all that being said, let's hop right up into this story right here. Now, I've been getting a lot of requests about bringing OG Chances back. So I'm going to give you guys a story that he relayed to me until I can get him back on the page. So now this story takes place maybe 1984, 1985. Somewhere around there, right? He doesn't exactly remember, but he was at a prison by the name of Susanville. Now, Susanville is located in the northeast corner of California, actually way up there, maybe about 85 miles away from Reno, Nevada. So it's a prison that's notorious for having the aid and the, let's just say, it's said that a lot of the white guards up there will aid and abet a lot of the white convicts in terms of giving them knives, all types of stuff. You know, I've heard a lot of horror stories about Susanville, right? And so on this day in particular, he's outside on the yard. Now, the way he described the yard that it looks to me, when I say he, I'm talking about Chances, of course. Imagine it being a square. Now, on the walls of the square are the dorms. Now, this particular prison is dorm living. Now, on the walls of the square, they're dorms. The dorms are real long, and they have two doors. You can go in through one door, and then you can walk along the dorm and then come out at the other door. And so in the middle of the square is the yard. Now, so around this time, he's in his early 20s. He said, you know, he's on Monster Swole. He's got about some 18-inch arms, you know. He's out there working out with another dude by the name of Bogart. He believes Bogart was from Raymond, but he's not 100% sure. But, you know, he say Bogart was his workout partner. They two young hogs. They alpha males. They out there every day, you know, clowning, having fun, hitting the weights, you know, just getting they swole on. So now when he would go out there to the yard, he would always take his knife with him. Now on the weight pile, the weight pile is somewhat like, it's a mixture of between small little rocks like gravel and sand. And so he would always take his knife and put his knife up under the weight bench as he was working out. On this day in particular, they over there, they working out, you know what I'm saying? They getting they workout on. At some point, Bogart calls him. He said, Chances, man, come on. Chances, man, come on. Chances like, what's up, man? What's going on? Chances hop up real quick. He said, man, look. So now as they look down there by the dorms, they can see the white convicts. It's a riot jumping off. The white convicts are running in buildings, running in and out of buildings. You know, he said they chasing brothers around. You know, they got a couple of brothers on the run, and it's a riot cracking off. So he said they run down there. Him and Bogart, they run down there. He said now when Bogart happened to call him like, hey, man, what's up? Come on. He forgets to grab his knife. So now he runs down there. They go up in there. Boop, bop, beep, boop, bop. They get the squad. But he said, you know, it's a cold melee. It's going on up in there. You know, I guess what happened is the whites had took off and kicked off a riot. And so they in there, they stabbing brothers. And he said the brothers in that particular riot definitely got the short end of the stick. He said many brothers was stabbed in that riot, and one was actually killed. So now as the police eventually quelled the situation or whatever, they put everybody in the hole or did whatever they did. Eventually, they started shipping people out. They'll do that a lot of times in California, especially when they have a riot on one particular yard and that riot is extremely bad. They know that, of course, if they release everybody back out to the yard or whatever, run yard, open it up, you're going to have the same type of problems going on. So they'll ship people to this prison. They'll ship people to that prison in order to change the whole dynamics of that yard, right? So just as luck would have it, Chances and the dude Bogart gets shipped right across the street to another prison that was over there in Susanville. Now, Susanville was like the reception center for a program. It's like a fire camp program. If you're eligible, and this is at a minimum security prison, you can be trained and learn to work as a firefighter. So now at this other prison they sent him to, which was right across the street, they have all these, they have a lot of weapons over there. He explained and described, all types of weapons and all types of things that you would need to complete this fireman training or whatever. So when he gets over there, he immediately asks for one of his homeboys to give him some type of knife, some type of weapon or whatever, right? So one of his homies come and give him a real big, long, sharp screwdriver, and so that was the weapon that he gave him, and he was pushing with that. So now, like I said, they had also bought Bogart over there. Bogart was about his height too, maybe about 5'9". He said Bogart wasn't as defined as him, but he was a big old giant dude, probably had some 20-inch arms, He said they used to work out all the time. And so he say it may have been a day or two after he got over there, but he said it felt like right away. So either him or Bogart happens to spot a white dude who also came from the other yard that they was on and who was also involved in that riot. So Chances says he can't quite remember if Bogart went up to him and fired on him and kicked off the riot or he kicked it off. He said he believes it was Bogart. So, they kick off another riot with the white dudes over there. Now, this time, unexpectedly, he said, when they kick off the riot with the white dudes, the Southern Mexicans jump up, get involved, and come to the aid of the white dudes. And so they out there squabbling, boom, beat, pop, stabbing, doing their thing. It's going down. Now, he said at some point in time, he gets into it in the course of this riot, he gets into it with a Mexican dude. They, happen to run into each other and they squabbing, going back and forth, doing their thing. He's got his knife. He said the Mexican dude had a big, long, sharp file type knife. He said the Mexican dude was maybe about 5'6", much smaller than he was, he said, but he definitely was very efficient at using that knife. Chances said early in his duel with this dude, he realized that this dude was extremely efficient in using his knife, and he definitely knew what he was doing. So Chances said what he done was he put his arm out front. He was using this arm as a shield, and he's got the knife in the other hand. And so they going at it, they lunging at each other, trying to stab each other, trying to take each other's breath. He said, it was a strong, combative type of situation. They wasn't playing. They was really trying to take each other out of there. So now, like I said, he's turned all the way to the side and using his arm as a shield, And so at some point in time, when he's got his arm up, he said the dude came and hit him right up under the armpit. Now, at this point in time, Chances said, like I said, he's in his early 20s. He's on Monster Swole. He's big and humongous. So when the dude hit him up under the arm, he brings his arm down and the dude backs up off him. And they're still going at it. And Chances quickly realized, now Chances, he had stabbed Chances. Unbeknownst to Chances, Chances doesn't realize that he's stabbed. He hit him up under the armpit, and the long, file, sharp knife that the dude had has broke up in his arm. And so when he backs up, Chances looks and he sees that, of course, the knife is broke. And so Chances says to himself, oh, this dude don't even got a point on the knife. He just basically is trying to stab me with some dull metal. So then Chances says he gets on him. He pops him a couple times. And eventually the police come. They put the yard down, of course. They take people away. Excuse me. Now, at some point in time, they surrounded Chances. He said they started talking stuff to him, telling him that he's in big trouble. The dude that he stabbed is in serious condition, and he may have even passed away from his injuries. So they end up taking Chances to the hole. At some point in time, one of the guards comes back there and tells Chances that he's extremely lucky. The dude who he is accused of stabbing, they was able to bring him back on the helicopter on the flight to the hospital. He passed He passed away again once he got to the hospital, and they was able to revive him. Now, Chance's goes, of course, in his cell, and his arm inside, his side up under his arm is killing him. It's killing him, but he doesn't realize he's been stabbed, like I said. So he's in there with his cellie at some point in time, and he's complaining to his cellie how much pain that he's in. So his cellie said, "Hey man, well, let me take a look at you." His cellie says, "Let me take a look at you." And so his cellie tries to lift his arm up, and Chances says the pain is so severe, he punches the dude like, "Hey man, what the hell is you doing, man? Get up off me, man. You trying to hurt me or something?" So they end up calling a medic for Chances. So they come get him. They take him down to the MTA or the hospital area for that the prison had or whatever. They ask him, "Hey man, well, what's your name and stuff?" Once Chances gives them his real name, they say, "Oh, okay, you was the one who was involved in that situation out there. You're the one who is facing potentially attempted murder charges on this guy, right?" So Chances is complaining about the pain and stuff. And so they eventually get him to a hospital. After he waits there for a little while, they get him into the x-ray room and get him on the table, take some x-rays. Chances said maybe in about 5-10 minutes, the doctor comes running up in there. They come running up in there, pushing the wheelchair, telling him, "Hey man, get in the chair." They get him in the chair. They rush him off to surgery. They realize that he has 2.5 inches of metal has stuck up under his armpit and broke up in there. Now I guess the doctors told him that he was in such good shape that when he got stabbed, his flesh basically sealed around whatever instrument the dude had and stabbed him with. So of course they take him to the Susanville hospital. He goes through surgery, and they remove the 2.5 inches of metal that was lodged up in his arm, up under his armpit, or wherever it exactly was, right? So of course, after all this is done, they put him back in the hole again, and now he's facing an attempted murder charge for this riot that he was accused of participating in. So he sits in there for a long time, and he is fighting those charges and stuff like that. And that's when I told you guys, that that's when he was tripping and wouldn't let certain individuals come in his cell or whatever. Eventually, he ended up taking a deal. They dropped it down to assault on a prisoner with a weapon, I believe is what he said, and he took a deal for 6.5 years on that particular charge right there. Later on, he mentioned to me, I done an interview with him, you guys, and the name of that interview is called Death Before Dishonor. And he had mentioned in that interview, he happened to be in Pelican Bay, and he was in a cell with a dude by the name of Mad Dog, who unfortunately later on was released to the yard and shot and killed on the yard by one of the guards. But when he was in the hole years later, after this incident in Susanville, I believe he got to Pelican Bay somewhere in the 90s. I'm not exactly sure, right? And he's in the chute. He happens to notice a white dude by the name of Mountain. Mountain happened to be the one who was charged with killing that black dude in that Susanville riot. And due to them being locked down and stuff, he really couldn't, being locked in the chute, he really couldn't get to Mountain. He said he really wanted to get at him, and he had actually got at his cellie about, trying to get this dude and basically do as much harm as possible. He was in the cell with Mad Dog, who Mad Dog was a well-known penitentiary rider. He was a rider, period, had a well-known reputation. And he said that Mad Dog informed him of the politics. And he said due to the politics that they had going on in the Pelican Bay shoe, whatever happened on the yard was left on the yard in terms of trying to get this guy with a blowgun or a dart or something like that. He said because Mad Dog was an expert at making weapons. And Mad Dog told him, "Hey, listen, man, if these doors should happen to pop, I'm 100% with you, man. I'm 100% with you. But as far as, doing anything in the cell, outside of the cell, that would be considered like a cell soldier move. And so we don't do that." Like he said, in relation to the politics, I guess they had some type of, established politics that was going on up there. That, of course, if the doors popped and you was able to get at your enemy, he was fair game. But anything from the cell, outside of the cell, was uncool in the way he described it to me, man. And so anyway, yeah, that's a story right there. How OG Chances got blasted, almost lost his life. Hopefully pretty soon we're going to have him back on here to talk about that story and several other stories that he has, man. Anyway, y'all already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.